Hey, Amber, thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate that. What's up, Nixion? The Huntress. Shy, thank you for the love on the bluey shirt. Brandy, thank you so much for the rose already here. Danielle, what's up? Forrest, hello. Silver, how you doing there? Dusty Jr., thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate that. Appreciate it very much. Huntress, thank you so much. Love the bids. Kai, hello. Emma, hey. Onyx Ray, hello. Haley, hello. You guys can hear me this time, right? I'm not quiet again. Della, thanks for sharing the live. Let it go, hey. Renee, thank you for sharing the live as well. Samantha, hello. Hearts, 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 hearts. Debbie, hey, in San Antonio. Kelly, hello there. Rawls in Scotland. Silver, thank you for sharing the live. Amanda, hello. Rosie, hello. Captain Inappropriate, sup? You're going to like a couple of the stories today, Captain Inappropriate. BB, afternoon to you. Genevieve, hello. Got them lightning bolts thrown up. There, you know what you're doing there. We've got a regular there. Marty Saint, Western Washington State. Good to see you there. Play it for life, eh? Terry Terrence, hello. Pat, thanks for sharing the live. Appreciate it. Elizabeth, thank you for the love on the bluey shirt. Dawn, hello. Amber, hello there. Dina, hello. Bleach Kids. Bleach the kids. Wow. I mean, you got to get them clean somehow, right? Dusty Thunder Time, you're right. Tina, hi there. Rona, hello. Beatrice, hello. Thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Virginia Stevens, hello there. Harry Harrison. Harry Harrison. Hi there. Blue Eye Nurse, hello there in Ohio. Sam Wise, good to see you there. On X-Ray, thank you so much for sharing the stream. Susan, good to see you. 9 p.m. Wow. Well, hang in there with me for a little bit here. Charles, hey there in Australia. Silver, good to see you. And it's going good today. It is going good today. Weather's starting to improve, but it's going to get all cold again here soon. Erica, you needed to hear my soothing voice today. Well, I'll try not to lose it during the live. That would be a good idea. Forrest, thank you for sharing the live. Nadine, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Stop politicizing my rainbows. Good morning to you. Shawnee, thank you for the love on the shirt. It's actually from a Facebook group called Magical Mama's Handmade. And yeah, we were actually talking with that group today and posting about this very shirt. So they do live drops and have, she opens up her site for drops and has all kinds of cool stuff there. So Magical Mama's Handmade, if you're a Bluey lover, make sure you go check it out. They've got some sweet backpacks right now. We got one for Navy Thunder. Of course we did, because it's got Bluey on it and it's got lightning bolts. Oh my gosh. Rosie, thank you for sharing the live. Debbie, hello. Anna, hey from Winnipeg. Nice. Kirsty, hello there. Serafina with the lightning bolts, thank you. Pterodon, hello. Nikki, hi from New Jersey. Is it Nixion? Is that right? Nixion? Huntress. I just started saying Huntress because I wasn't sure about Nixion. Raylan, hello there. Good to see you. Hazy Joe from Canberra, Australia. All right. Emma, cool. Okay, everybody can hear me. That's a good thing. I started the live the other day without my audio turned on, so that was good. That was a good start. Debbie, Shawnee, Susan, Patricia, thank you for sharing the live. Jenny, thank you for sharing the live as well. El Rock, hello. Silver, hi there. Virginia Stevens with the hearts. Nixie and Hunter sharing the live. Thank you so much. SFH27, hello there. User, lots of numbers. Hello, love your TikTok. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Bleach of the Kids sharing the live. Nettie Net sharing the live as well. Thank you guys so much. Kenzie, thank you for the confirmation on being able to hear me. I appreciate that much. Jackie, thank you for sharing the live. And Cupcake, hey there, how are you? Nadine, subscribe for the first time. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the Storm. That definitely helps us keep these lives going. And some days, the only reason that I show up to do a live is for you guys. Because some days you just don't feel it. You know what I mean? That's not today. That's not today. Jackie, thank you so much for sharing the live as well. Crystal, you'll be my Bluey friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm definitely a bandit. Definitely. Sphinx Kitty Love, hi from Kentucky. Hello there. Erica, hi from NC, North Carolina. I hope I'm getting that right. Beatrice, hello from France. Wow. Serafina, thank you for sharing the live. Jen, thank you for the finger heart. Appreciate that. Gemini, hello. Cassie, hello. Sheena, hello. Oh, in Canada. Nice. Deborah from Nottingham in England. Hello there. Genevieve from England as well. Nikki's here. Vita Trimble's here. Hey, hey. And member of the storm there in San Antonio. Sharpie, hello. Onyx Ray, thank you for letting me know that you can hear me okay. I'm way behind on the comments here, so I will scroll on down. I'm sorry I'm missing a bunch of people I know. At this rate, though, I will never get caught up. Look at all the lightning bolts, though. Look at those. Becky, thank you so much for sending the lightning bolts. Appreciate those so much. Thank you so much. Stephanie, member of the storm there in Ontario. Becky throwing all kinds of lightning bolts at me here. Laurel, thank you for the roses. Appreciate that. Rach, it's your birthday? What? Happy birthday, Rach. Rach is, she's a regular here on the stream in the chat section here. So glad that you came to hang out with me for your birthday. Happy freaking birthday to you. That's awesome. Super cool. It's good to see everybody here. Thank you for jumping on. Amy Ross, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the storm. Thank you. It means a lot. And also, it should say on the description, actually, I don't think it says on the description on TikTok, but you do get access to a VIP group that we have on Facebook, which we do communicate with stuff that we don't communicate anywhere else. So, and we actually have some stuff we'll be throwing to that group here soon, because as we approach April 1st, where we roll out the new Dusty Thunder brand, we'll be bouncing some ideas off of you guys first. So you'll get a first look at everything. It is very bright in the studio today, Nisi, and it's good to see you here too. Another member of the storm. I converted my desk, or not converted it, but it's a sit stand uplift desk. So I just hit the button to go standing mode today. So I'm standing mode. I'm also trying a different mic today. This is the one that I had in the recording studio before. I was having some problems with it, so I brought it out here really to just test it out and make sure that it was a booth problem and not a mic problem. So we're going to try that out. And if it gets weird today, I'll throw a different one on. We'll play it by ear. So good to see you all. We've got some good stories cultivated by none other than Tony Spark, which is his new name. He's shaking his head at me right now. That's a cool name. That is a very cool name. And on brand, of course. It's great to see you all here. Look at the bluey love going on here. More lightning bolts heading this way. More lightning bolts heading this way. So freaking cool. The bluey shirt is from Magical Mama's Handmade VIP, or this is the VIP group. Candy Thunder can clarify more of this for me. She is the cool shirt hawk that will go hunt those down, and made this find with that Magical Mama's Handmade group, who has some stinking cool stuff. So we talked to them a little bit today, and she was very pumped that I wore her shirt in a video, and so I'm wearing it for live here. And we're throwing her some more love. Magical Mama's Handmade. Make sure you go check them out if you're a Bluey fan. Yes, Tony Spark. Danielle loves your name, Tony. They love it, Tony. You can't change it now. It's yours forever. Tony Spark. That's a freaking cool name. Freaking cool. You love my storytelling, Jill? Thank you so much. You're using the ascon scale regularly in your life now. Heck yes. I'll tell you what, that ascon scale is about to get a whole lot cooler, because as we transition it to that new brand, part of the animation stuff that we're doing, even the web page that is devoted to explaining the ascon scale, which I've been working on, is just so badass. It's so cool. You guys are going to be so excited. You could just bookmark that ascon scale page on your phone, and then anytime you need it, just be like, here's where you are, sir. There you go. You could use it all the time. All the time. Working on your phone again, Nixie? Oh, Tony Sparks with an S sounds better. Ooh. It's the play on Tony Stark, though. I mean, it's just one letter off. It's too stinking cool. Haley realized that I have a lot of AITA stories. Yeah, Beer today. Welcome to the stream here. Good to see you, brother. Yep, standing live today. If I can control my ADHD enough to not do this all stream, then we'll be in good shape. Leanne, thank you so much for the lightning bolts again. Stephanie, thank you for the lightning bolt there. Appreciate it. Oh, I'm freezing up on your end. Nancy says it's a Wi-Fi issue. I haven't got any notifications on the TikTok Live Studio yet that I have any connection issues, but I normally do. And if that happens, we'll see what we can do. But somebody's trying to get some dirt out of Candy Thunder here. She doesn't have any. I never do anything wrong. Nothing. Rona, thank you so much for the lightning bolt. Stephanie, thank you for the lightning bolt. Caroline, thank you for the lightning bolt. And Nabs as well. Also, Claire, thank you guys for the lightning bolt. Those, I don't know if that's a new one that they've rolled out, but I digs it. I digs it a lot. And Stephanie, thank you for the cat paw as well. Appreciate that. Magical Mama with the rose. Thank you guys so much. Magical Mama with the lightning bolt as well. Wait. Is this Magical Mama like Magical Mama's handmade Magical Mama? Did I miss that? Because if not, that's just serendipitous. It's just serendipitous. This is her. Okay, there you go. Magical Mama, the maker of this shirt, is in chat right now. So there you go. Look at that. We're throwing you some extra love today. Was very excited whenever Candy Thunder screenshotted your post in your Facebook group today and sent it over to me, and had to go jump into the group and interact with you there. It's very cool to see, and I hope you benefit greatly from it. Dancing Dusty, yeah, we'll hope it doesn't come to that. Potato loves listening to stories like these while you do dishes. Nice. We hear a lot of people who listen to videos and will put on like the YouTube compilations and that kind of thing while they do chores or do whatever. So that seems to work. We also have had some more requests for me to read some stories to do like bedtime stuff. So we may revisit that and actually dive into it. Caroline, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm. Thank you. Lightning bolts for Caroline and all of our Storm members here, of course. Linz, thank you so much for the lightning bolts. Appreciate that. And Janine, you as well. And Alex for the Choco Strawberries. Ooh, that looks good. That looks good. We had some strawberries recently. We had some strawberry shortcake, and it's damn good. I am a strawberry fan. Navy Thunder is a strawberry fan, big time as well. Alrighty, we've got some really good stories for you today. We've got at least one that's going to gross you out, but we've got several good ones here. And Jessica says, can you do ascon scale ratings for those of us that know we're not the asshole and want the, are you talking about, you want the other person rated? Yeah. That ends up happening a lot in the stories that we get. Leanne, look at that, throwing the ascon unicorn our way. Thank you for that. Nabs, thank you for the cat paws. Jess, thank you for the pancake. Linda for the rose. Appreciate that. And Stephanie for the hand wave. Oh, Erica with the duck. And Liz with more lightning bolts. Ashley with the fire. Stephanie with the panda. Appreciate you guys. Shady Jafari with a telescope there. Very cool. It's the first one of those I think I've seen. All right, I'm going to go ahead and dive into our first story here. Let's start spilling some tea, I guess. That happened. Moving on. All right, this one is a follower submission, and it is, am I the astronaut for cutting all ties with my childhood best friend? Reading that again. Am I the astronaut for cutting all ties with my childhood best friend? I'll try to keep this short and sweet and to the point. Time out. This is a follower submission. OP, if you are in chat and want to raise your hand and let people know it's you, if they have additional questions, by all means, that is your choice. I, 29 female, and my childhood best friend, Liz, 29 female, have been through a lot together and have been so close since we were 13. We've seen each other through the darkest and best of times. She's always had a tendency to treat me fairly badly, but because I'm always forgiving, I just moved past it. An example would be on her 16th birthday. She told me she and a bunch of us were going for food at a restaurant and a table was booked. I was working that day and had to catch a bus after my shift to get there. I bought a cake and balloons to surprise her. I got to the restaurant first and set everything up for a surprise. After waiting at the restaurant for 45 minutes, I called her to hear her and our friends laughing that I turned up and that it was all one big prank on me. And they thought it was hilarious that I fell for it. I cried the whole way home and left the cake and balloon in the restaurant. These sound like really shitty friends. Not friends, just shitty people. Fast forward a few years, we've both grown and have children. When I got engaged, I asked her to be a bridesmaid, and she decided she would be my maid of honor. Wait, she decided? She decided? Despite that I never asked her, despite that I never asked her to and actually had someone else in mind. I never corrected her for fear of her causing conflict in our relationship and let it be. My relationship went to hell and the wedding that never happened. That's another story. Wow. There's a lot going on here. I'm trying to keep up, but there's a lot going on. A few years later, she got engaged to the father of her children. She asked me to be her bridesmaid, and of course I accepted. I wasn't her maid of honor, which hurt a little, but again, we'd grown and made other friendships. I was just happy to be included in her day. We had a group chat and talked about plans, venues, and color schemes. Sadly, the wedding was put on hold due to COVID, and all wedding chatter came to a halt. I archived the chat for now and went on with my life in university to be a nurse. After things settled down from the pandemic, I messaged her and asked when the wedding planning was going to resume. She gave me a vague answer like, just figuring it all out. And that was it. It's not my wedding, so I didn't push. Fast forward to last year, I graduated uni and am now doing my dream job. Dropped a bunch of weight due to mental health struggles, but now feel in a good place. I logged into Facebook, and as I'm scrolling, I see a post from her. It's her wedding pictures. I go to check the archived messages of the group chat and realize that everyone, apart from me, left the chat ages ago without saying a word. I was hurt that I'd been uninvited as a bridesmaid and to the wedding entirely without even being told why. A few weeks later, a mutual friend who attended the wedding asked why I wasn't there. I told them I had no idea, and I was pretty shocked by it too. As it turns out, Liz had been slating me to everyone how I've stolen her dream job by going to university to be a nurse, and also said that I lost all the weight on purpose to show her up at her wedding. Liz is a big girl. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I guess she's insecure. I don't know. This cut deep, and all I wanted to do was call her and tell her how much of a shit friend she was. After deep breaths, I decided there would be nothing to gain from confronting her, but instead took that as a token of the friendship being over. I deleted her from my socials, unblocked, and deleted her number. Fast forward to earlier today, I've just finished a 14-hour shift as a mental health nurse. I'm tired and just wanted some chocolate to treat myself. As I walk into the shop, there's Liz walking out. I smiled, and before I could even say hello, she immediately launched into an attack about how I must be jealous of her marriage and how I took her dream job. I was tired, and ultimately, I snapped. It's about damn time, lady. I told her it's not my fault she dropped out of college to spend more time with her boyfriend at the time. I told her it's not my fault she never went to university and doesn't have the same get up and go that I have. I told her it's not my fault I've dropped 4 stone in weight and work hard to maintain that while she does nothing to address her weight. I pointed out to her that she is clearly bitter and jealous and ended it with, I wish you and your husband all the best with your life. I just won't be in it anymore. I turned straight around, got in my car, and went home. I have since had a lot of texts and messages from mutual friends saying how much of an asshole I am for saying such hurtful things after everything she's ever done for me. I have subsequently removed these negative people from my life and blocked them too. Am I the asshole? I'll give you a minute to let all that soak in. Yeah, I think everybody here is proud of her, and I agree. It took a hell of a long time for her to finally stand up for herself, though. Don't worry, Caleb, there's more. There's more where that came from. There's more bullshittery and assholery and all kinds of stuff coming. NTA. She did do well. Candy Thunder, so glad she finally stood up for herself. Yeah, finally meaning 16 years. It took 16 years, but I think all of those things that happened along the way probably had to happen for her to have, I was going to say confidence, but maybe respect for herself to finally stand up. And it didn't hurt that she had just ended a long shift and was probably just mentally fried. And especially in a mental health profession, I think the amount of problems that people in that field take on during the day just by dealing with other people's problems is probably mentally and emotionally exhausting as well. So then she just gets confronted with this villain in her life that has treated her like the shit on her the bottom of her shoe for 16 years, and is just like, oh, you know what? Screw it. If we're going to do this, let's do this. Put the boxing gloves on. And she just let it all out. Yes, great. And guess what? Those mutual friends who think that you're an asshole here aren't friends. Just like you keep using this word friend with this Liz gal, and you were going to say that she was a shit friend, even late in the story here. And I'm like, why is that word friend still being used? Because that word does not apply here. She's just a shit person. She's not a shit friend. That's not a friend at all. Nisi, you're right. That was never a friendship. This was, she kept her around to have somebody to take a dump on, basically. A lot of friendships, I'm going to say friendships, but a lot of people do this. They keep someone close by that they can basically treat as the dobby in the relationship so that they feel better about themselves. And the turnaround here was amazing, because the turnaround was OP made all these self-improvements and advanced her life to a point where Liz couldn't even reach her anymore. Couldn't take a swing because she knew that she had bettered herself to this point that Liz couldn't touch. So she had to shit on her to other people and then not include her in her wedding because she was so jealous of this person that she couldn't even have her in her wedding, couldn't even invite her to the wedding. That's some freaking insecurity at a level that is crippling. That's crippling for life, right? Ascon -1 OP is Dread Zone. I like it. In the Yoda talk, too. Emotional vampires, Spadato says. People like that are emotional vampires. Definitely fulfills the succubus role. Wait, Stephanie, you said pretty sure that's what I was to my husband? Which one? You were the one who shit on him, or he was the one who shit on you? Or maybe I'm jumping in at a weird point in that conversation. Queen Stephanie, thank you so much for the lightning bolt. Stephanie, also, a different Stephanie, thank you for the lightning bolts. Appreciate it there. 18 of them. Wow. You done full electrified me. Electrocuted me with that many lightning bolts. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, finally, I'm glad that she unloaded. And if this was inside the business and the business had a camera up, I'd be like, hey, can I get that footage, please? I want to keep that. Just, anytime I'm feeling down on myself, I want to watch that clip back and just be like, yeah, I am tough. It's a good thing you're tough. Sarah Havrillo is asking where the shirt came from, and we actually have the maker of the shirt in chat here. I'm not sure if she's still here, but it is Magical Mama's handmade, and she has all kinds of really cool stuff and does it in drop fashion. So I think it is Bluey backpacks right now. Magical Mama's handmade is where this came from, and she was at least in chat earlier. She may still be. Jess, you bet. Yeah, if you guys are dealing with a situation with someone who calls themselves a friend and really just keeps you close to shit on you, that's not a friend. Absolutely not a friend. Twinkle Saz, thank you so much for the rose. Brannigan, thank you so much for the rose as well. Alex says, with friends like that, you don't need enemies. Truth. J-Taz, thank you so much for the 13 roses. And Chaz for the 3 lightning bolts. Thank you so much there. Jamie with the lightning bolts. Jenny with the rose. Thank you so much. Teresa with the rose as well. J-Taz with another rose. Thank you so much. Lots of love from Belgium. I was going to attempt to pronounce the name, but I'm telling you right now, I'm going to butcher that. So thank you so much. Appreciate that, frenemies. Christine, hey there in Minnesota. King Plays, that is some interesting stuff you got going on there. Haley in Louisiana, Jennifer in Netherlands. Deidre, thank you so much for the lightning bolts. Frenemies. Nicola, thank you for the rose, appreciate that. All right, we've got another one here. The note that I had to talk about in here was actually about the Bluey shirt, but we've talked about that a couple of times here. Just as a reminder, it is from Magical Mama's Handmade, and she has a Facebook group. That is probably the best way to stay tuned in. And the Navy Thunder, the backpack that we ordered for Navy Thunder has Bluey and lightning bolts in between the Bluey characters. Like, how much more perfect can that get for us? Really? Ash, thank you for the mics. Appreciate that. Inglolanda, thank you so much for the rose. Appreciate that. All right, this story comes from Reddit. It is from the AITA subreddit, and it is, am I the astronaut for giving my stepson a 20-minute time limit to return my car before I call the police? I am a 34 female doctor, and part of my job entails being on call for one of 3 nights a week, twice a month. My fiance, Dale, 30 male, has been saving with my stepson's mom to buy him a car for Christmas. My stepson, Rex, 16 male, has a license already, but always has to borrow his mom's station wagon or his dad's beat-up pickup truck. His mom's car is lame and embarrassing, and his dad's can only hold 1 passenger. Not practical for a teen. On to the main conflict. Rex texted me yesterday around 12 to see if he could borrow my car after school. His friends wanted to go to the mall, but the bus route is too long. Could they borrow my car? I texted back, sorry, but no, I am on call again. Can you ask your mom? He says no. I told him sorry, but my answer is still no. I'm sure you will find a solution. Ask your friends and you can all figure it out. If you see where this is going, you are less shocked than I am. I was up in my home office, the room where I keep my Switch, sewing machine, and laptop, so not an official office, when I heard Rex and his friends downstairs after school. I was going to see if they needed anything, but they left after a few minutes. An hour later, I went to the kitchen, cleaning up the empty bottles and wrappers from their snacks. I saw the spot where I left my keys empty. I began to panic. First, I bolted to the door. My car was gone. They're suspended in midair. There they go. Now they're falling. Holy crap. That was weird. Yeah, I have thoughts. Immediately dialed my stepson. He picks up, and it's obvious he's in a mall store that plays loud music. I told him to get his ass home now, and he laughed and said that I am not his mom. He'll be home whenever he pleases. I'm not proud, but I told him that he has 20 minutes to get home or I call the police and report it stolen. Rex panics and said he couldn't find all his friends and drive home in 20 minutes. I told him tough shit. 10 minutes later, I get a text that he is in the mall parking lot and will be home soon. I phoned Rex's mom and informed her of this stunt. She was madder than me when I told her that I was on call. She apologized and promised to talk to Rex and Dale ASAP. Rex came in, threw me the keys, locked himself in his room. Dale finally came home around 8 and said he had been on the phone with his ex. He demanded to know why I punished his son. I put my foot down and explained that I am on call, which means I need my car. Rex stole my car. Dale disagrees. His ex agrees with me and decided she will not be buying Rex a car anytime soon due to his entitlement. Dale thinks that I am making a big deal out of nothing. I didn't end up going into work, so why did I have to threaten Rex? I have only gone in twice this year while on call. Just because nothing happens doesn't mean that I am always clear, because that's why it's on call. Rex is now grounded. Fiance barely speaks to me. Asks me when I'm going in today. I'm not, and if I will, I apologize. I'm not budging, and I'm still pissed, and he doesn't get it. Am I the astronaut? Editing because it came up in the comments. Dale is 30, not 29, but yes, he was 14 when Rex was born. Don't get hung up on this. It isn't about teen parents. Rex's mom was 15 when they had him and is the best mom, if you ask me. She's who introduced me to Dale. Edit 2. Now I can see why my friend told me this sub can be a little much. I'm very thankful for these responses, but I think I'm going to leave the comments now and have a very frank discussion with Dale tonight. Rex is with his mom, so he won't be in the middle or get involved. Kids still wouldn't look at me and called me the B word, who won't let him get his own car now. Oi! I mean, he did steal it, right? He did steal it. Yeah, and the ex agreeing with OP here is a huge deal. It is a very big deal. I'll play a little bit of catch up here. Stephanie, thank you so much for the guacamole. Andrea, thank you for the 30 lightning bolts. Heck yeah. Andrea, more lightning bolts, 17 of them, and another one. Stephanie for 21 lightning bolts here. I think it's turning into a lightning bolt competition. Who can do the most lightning bolt? I'm just kidding. Oh, holy crap. As I say that, Andrea has 50 lightning bolts thrown at me. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Y'all trying to zap me. Zap me. Yeah, this is, there is some definite entitlement going on here. My biggest problem with all of this is that if she is a doctor and was on call, him taking her car removed her ability to respond to calls. And depending on how urgent that call was, he could have destroyed the ability of her to save someone's life. I don't know what kind of doctor she is, but almost every kind of physician has that ability at some point. And if she's on call and got no way to get there except for what? Uber? Man, I don't know. Clearly, he doesn't respect her or her job or her car. Doesn't respect the physical possession side of things. It's not cool. Holy crap. Playing a little bit more catch up here. Andrea with the 50 there. Holy cow. Nicola with the 20 lightning bolts. J-Taz with the 6. Amanda with the 2. Appreciate that. Tori with the 3. Thank you so much. Love only. Throwing them dancing styles around there. Adriana with 81 lightning bolts. Holy moly. Thank you so much. And Andrea with the 11 ice cream cones. Alex with the 9 lightning bolts, and then 20, and then 24. Holy cow, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Nisi, you're right. Someone could have died here. And that's really all you need to know, is that if someone's on call, you cannot remove their ability to respond to call. You just can't. Alex with the 30, thank you so much. And then the 2, Olivia with the 88 lightning bolts, thank you so much there. Andrea with the 5 telescopes, thank you. Jess with the sun power, thank you so much there. Nicola. I'm not sure which way that's pronounced. With the 14 mics, thank you so much there. Tammy with the rose. Adriana with the superpower, thank you so much. Wish I had one of those myself. Twinkle Saz with the love you, thank you so much. Tammy with the rose. Summer with the hat and mustache. Andrea with the fires, thank you so much. Matt with the tiny dinies, thank you. Linda with the corgis. Andrea with the 76 lightning bolts. Holy moly. Y'all crazy. Y'all just crazy up in here today. You all crazy. You guys are great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Special Creations with the 39. And Esther Gorilla. Esther, this is me trying to pronounce it. I'm sorry. Esther, thank you so much for the 15 there as well. Melissa with the Enjoy Music. Jamie with the Panda. Melissa with the music again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Blended families are hard, and especially in this kind of scenario where OP's, I thought it was husband at first, but fiance doesn't agree with her being able to create boundaries and discipline his son. If they're engaged, he's going to have to be open to her being a functional parent figure for his son. And if not, if he wants to draw that line, then this kid definitely stole the car. Because if it's not a parent figure and they're just acquaintances or just happen to live in the same house, then her property is her property. And she's not a parent figure who, if a kid steals a parent's car, I don't know if it's still technically theft at that point, but if he's not viewing her as that at all, and if OP's fiance isn't viewing her as that at all, it's a pretty freaking clear line where that is not okay. But he thought it was, and whenever she called to say, get your ass home, he said, you're not my mom. Okay. Then your ass is going to the slammer, boy. How old is he? 16. What would you do? Should have called the cops and said, look for my car at the mall, Marissa says. She didn't even discipline him, just told him they hope she will be getting her car back. She threatened discipline. I mean, making him come home was basically the discipline that she did hand out. Mark, thank you so much for loving the videos and subscribing to the YouTube channel. Thank you. Appreciate that. And for those of you who aren't subscribed on YouTube yet, there are videos on YouTube that never make it to TikTok. We also have the compilations that come out every Wednesday, and the podcast comes out on YouTube as well. We don't have another one recorded and ready to release just yet, but we are working on that. Tony Sparks said he would be my next podcast guest as long as I don't make this one specific joke today about this one specific story. So I'll behave. Courtney, Jenna, thank you guys so much for the roses. Appreciate that. I just said he would be. Schmutz. Hey everybody, Josh Schmutz is on the on chat today, and it is his birthday today as well. So happy birthday, Schmutz. We love you, buddy. He said Tony stank, by the way. That's oh man, Tony Spark it's such a great name. I'm a little jealous of it. I'm not gonna lie, because Tony Stark is he's a badass. HBD Schmutzy Poo. I actually got to see him today. We got to go out to lunch. In this story, the ex-wife, the mom, is a champion here. Her backing out of buying him the car. I don't know why Dad is so opposed to this. That's the part that I do not understand at all. Like, what part of all of this did he think was okay? And how does he think that not having a problem with this doesn't send some kind of message to him that being entitled is okay? I don't get it. I don't get it. I think if anything, actually letting him get his ass hauled to jail would be a great experience. A great lesson. Especially the disrespect that he showed whenever she called him and he knew that he stole her car. She called him and told him to get his ass home. And he said, "You're not my mom. I can do whatever the hell I want." Ooh. Andrea, thanks so much for loving the content. Appreciate that. Dad probably doesn't want to share his car with the son anymore. You may be right. You may be right, Jerry. Norcuria, thank you so much for the love on the voice in my comments. Appreciate that. This is a different mic today. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but we're rocking a different microphone today, other than this pop filter being bigger and covering up more of the beard and face here. And standing up. I'm doing lots of different stuff today. Standing up, using a different mic. You're all good. Christina, you're good. You're not too late. We've read 2 stories so far. You're good. Much more drama to come. Much more. I'm not your mom would have been, or you're not my mom would have been a different story to the cops, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Johnny, thank you so much for the love. Appreciate that. Oh, Dad probably doesn't like having his ex call him. Andrea, you could be right about that. Any kind of problems that require split parental units to work together on a punishment is just that much more complicated. And he kind of loses a vote here, I guess, if both his fiance and his ex are on the same page. Maybe that's it. Maybe he just felt powerless. And he's like, "Whoa, why did you punish him? I don't get a say." Yeah, you're damn straight. Especially if you disagree with it. You got nothing. Bridget, thank you so much for the rose. Appreciate that. Okay. Have you done the honeymoon one, Chris says, where the sister-in-law was in an accident? No, we haven't. I don't know if that one's on the docket today, but if it is, I have not read it yet. The name of this story was, "Am I the astronaut for giving my stepson a 20-minute time limit to return my car before I call the police?" Prior to this was, "Am I the astronaut for cutting all ties with my childhood best friend?" That one we did go through. And also, just a note, if you missed part of the live and you want to go back and watch it later on, we are now actively taking these lives, downloading them, and uploading them to YouTube. So you'll be able to, we'll put time markers in there for the stories as well, so you'll be able to jump to specific stories after the fact. And I try to do that night of, it might be next day, though. Might be next day. All right. We're going to go ahead and dive right into the next one here. I can tell you this. If either of my boys took Candy Thunder's car and treated her that way, they may never be able to physically drive again. I'm just kidding. That wouldn't happen. But there would be severe punishment, and there would be formal apologies, and there would be a long road ahead to work that off and earn that trust back. And I think that's probably one of the biggest takeaways from this is there was a lot of trust broken in this scenario that has to be rebuilt. You don't just get handed that back. You have to earn it back. And he's going to learn. He's going to learn the hard way. You're going to learn, boy. Gloria says she heard the background snort. That was Tony Spark. Oh, man. Okay. Candy Thunder, thank you so much for sharing the live, as you should, Lady Thunder. Love seeing your name there. Elizabeth, thank you for following. Appreciate that. Yeah, guys, if you haven't shared the live yet, please go ahead and do that. We'll invite as many people to the party as possible. All right, the next one that we're diving into is a follower submission. So again, OP, if you are in the chat here and want to let people know that this is your story, feel free to do that. That is your choice. Am I the astronaut for struggling to forgive my husband for what I consider emotional cheating? About 4 years ago, I was looking on my husband's phone for a recipe that he asked his sister-in-law to send him for me to make. I was picking him up from work and he left his phone in the car. I wanted to see the recipe so I could pick up the ingredients on the way home. Our phones had never been a sensitive topic for either of us, and I didn't think of using his phone without him there. When I opened his messages, I saw a recent message from a woman that was constantly being recommended to me as a Facebook friend with multiple friends in common. I clicked on the messages thinking that it was his cousin. I saw messages from my husband saying that he would miss working with this woman and that though he wouldn't leave me or our kids, he couldn't live with himself without telling her how he felt about her. She very nicely told him that she wasn't interested. Okay, so OP saw this breach of trust but also saw him get denied in there, which is, there's got to be a little bit of sweetness to that sour. I was devastated. I was very trusting and never jealous because I had complete faith in our relationship. After I saw the messages, I started reading their past conversations and looking through his camera roll. I found messages that coincided with dates and times. I had tried to spend time alone with my husband, and he had completely brushed me off. His camera roll had pictures of multiple women from bikini pictures to nude. Dude. I confronted him about it all crying. He deleted everything and tried to act like I was crazy. It didn't occur to me to save any of it. I was so hurt and sad. He eventually did come clean, but said he was only flirting while at work and they never did anything. He said the messages was the result of drinking too much and he didn't mean it. He claims the pictures on his phone were just pictures from porn sites and weren't from messaging other women. I honestly don't know if that's true or not. 2 years ago, my husband was working somewhere else and I received a message from a man saying that my husband had been messing around with his girlfriend while my husband was her temporary supervisor. The man included a screenshot of their messages that had this girl warning my husband that her boyfriend found out and would contact me. I asked my husband about it and he had already cleared his phone and tried to deny it. I showed him the screenshot of the messages and he said that it was being taken out of context. The girl later messaged me saying that my husband had forced himself on her and had kissed her multiple times. My husband had complained when he first started working with this girl that she liked to start drama with coworkers to try to get more attention from her boyfriend, causing her boyfriend to show up and to get into fights with guys who had offered the girl a ride home when she said she didn't have one, that kind of thing. So I had no idea if what she said was true. And the messages that I saw were just talking about cute pet names for each other. So definitely suspicious, but not proof of cheating. I still don't trust my husband, but I don't know if this girl is trustworthy either. I'm so emotionally detached now that the drama with this girl didn't even bother me when I found out. I wasn't angry and I never cried or made a scene. At this point, I think I want a divorce, but my husband isn't great with the kids alone. And I know if he had them without someone there, he would forget to feed them or even keep an eye on them to keep them safe. He lost a 4-year-old while camping because he took a nap when he had the kids and I was picking up extra food from the store. Thankfully, a family friend saw our son and pointed him out on another campsite to a family member that we were camping with. I feel stuck. He keeps saying that he never cheated and doesn't understand why I can't let go. Am I the astronaut for not being more understanding? Oh yeah, I guess we should have done this a while back, huh? Oh. Samantha says someone is taking your stories to post on their page. We see that a lot, unfortunately. We see people steal the audio and use it with different video. It's less often that we see somebody steal the video and audio, but it sucks nonetheless. Lots of divorce talk here. Super Ash, thank you for the love on the shirt. Appreciate that. That came from Magical Mama's Handmaid. She's being gaslit 100%. Okay, now there's a good point. Let me find this comment. Jerry May says that man was trying to cheat. Okay, and there is a very good point here. Just because he didn't get caught cheating doesn't mean he wasn't trying to. It sounds like he got busted trying to multiple times here. And isn't that just as bad? Just because he wasn't successful, because he got shot down? Sounds like a couple of times. Doesn't that make it just as bad? If not even worse, because, okay, hear me out for a second. I say worse because he's the aggressor or the pursuer in the situation. It's not like some lady came on to him, which isn't okay either. It's still cheating. It's still wrong. It's still terrible, but he's actively trying. It's not something that just happened. It's not like a situational thing. Nobody's coming on to him. He's actively pursuing other women, and that is just as bad, if not worse. Comes down to intent, y'all. Beer Today says communication of needs and expectations to establish level of trust she needs, clear and consistent. Yeah. Shouldn't that be inherent at this point, though? I mean, should you have to tell your partner that you're not okay with them trying to cheat? And to your point, Beer Today here, maybe he's not seeing what he's doing as cheating, but she's confronted him about it multiple times. But also to your point, clearly she needs to draw some very crayoned out boundaries for him here and make it as simple as possible to say, if you do this, I will leave. I am not okay with this, this, and this. And you can try to deny it all you want, but she's had proof before. So if it comes down to not knowing if you should believe someone else who's saying stuff about your husband, that's not a spot you want to be in. But I think the ultimate question is, well, the ultimate statement in all of this is, I still don't trust my husband. That's the only answer you need. Isn't that it? And giant Crayolas, Angela, yes. Deb says if you stay with a man who cheats, you're staying with a man who cheats. You're just saying it's okay at that point. You're not doing anything to stop it. Joe, my bluey shirt makes your soul happy. Awesome. Yeah, figure out how to establish trust or get out, Beer Today says. I can't agree more. OP, you don't trust him right now. So what does he need to do for you to trust him? And is he willing to do that? That's more important. Is he willing to change? Is he willing to make changes to earn trust back with you? Right now, it doesn't sound like he is. It kind of sounds like he has no self-control. And unfortunately, I think there are probably a lot of people like this who just have no self-control and just... But I think a lot of people who end up in, not this scenario, but a lot of people who end up stupidly cheating are people who someone else comes onto them and they're weak because they get that attention from someone and they fall for it. But not this guy. This guy is the aggressor, and that is like the biggest trust deal breaker of all to me, because he's out there trying, he's targeting, he is out there getting denied nonetheless, but still he is out there trying. Jessica, thank you for the lightning bolts. I appreciate that. Don't stay for the kids, leave with the kids. I think one of the things you have to think about whenever you think you're staying for the kids is what kind of example are you providing them for where their happiness should be in the hierarchy of needs to themselves as an adult throughout life. Is it okay for them to choose happiness? Is it okay to be happy? And you can prove that. You can prove that as a parent by choosing your happiness and a happy home for them, rather than choosing to stay in a broken and unhappy and emotionally detached relationship. Because that's what you're teaching them. You're teaching them that if they end up in a broken relationship someday, they should stay in it too. What lesson do you want to teach your kids here? Does OP say why she can't take the kids with her? No, she can't. She's saying that she's just assuming that by default they would have, a joint custody thing. But even with joint custody, she's worried that he's not going to take care of them because he lost one time. Twinkle Saz, thank you so much for the lightning bolts. Appreciate that. Emily, lightning bolts there as well. Thank you guys so much. Supergirl Susie with the big love ×2. Thank you very much. Schmutz Tony walked away for a minute. I don't know if he's going to see your comment about camera 2. Jennifer, thank you for the microphones. Appreciate that. Me says, that's what I did. I chose happiness versus constantly letting my daughter see us fight. Yes! Kids are going to be happier in 2 separate happy homes rather than one unhappy home. And I think the most important takeaway from that is you are setting an example for them about the kind of relationships that they should build for themselves or accept in their lives moving forward. Stephanie, thank you for the lightning bolts. Nick, thank you for the lightning bolts. Appreciate that. Hey, Sarah's officially showed up here. Good to see you here. Nisi says supervised visitation. Yeah, I think there's got to be some proof here. Schmutz with all those lightning bolts here. How old are you turning today, Schmutz? I should have asked that. Is that how many lightning bolts are there? 43. Happy 43rd, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate the wide-eye worsty, crazy Canadian. Thank you so much for that. 43. Happy 43rd to Schmutz. One of my really good buddies. Oh, yes. Sorry, I got distracted. The ADHD's kicking in. Hello. Oopies candy. Oopies candy. Okay, so I think where she struggles here is that, yes, she's got that one scenario of him losing the kid that one time, but when it comes to going to court and the custody side of things, you've got to be taking good notes along the way and collecting good examples, or maybe have some character witnesses in this, but trying to have a lopsided visitation is an uphill battle, and it's something that's going to, it's an ugly fight too. So, if she is only staying with him because she is worried about him not being able to care for the kids, then she's got to do something to collect that evidence though. And how many scenarios are like that out there? How many people are still together only because they have kids and one partner doesn't think the other one's going to be able to take care of the kids if they split up? It's terrible. I'm not a lawyer. No. I'm not a lawyer. Definitely not. Hey, Glam Nerd Jen, go Chiefs! Love from KC. It's the NFL trade news is popping right now, isn't it? Which is great because you get into off season, it's like there's no football on the weekends anymore. What? We're gonna have to start doing yard work and stuff, and then you start getting trade news, and it's good. Alicia, thank you so much for the paper crane. Appreciate that. OKC sending me love. Lisa, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Sneesia says, if no kids, I would have left years ago. And I think she probably would have too. Stephanie says, custody battles are hard. I'm not even fighting joint custody. My husband is making it so hard. They're tough. They're tough. There's a ton of trade news, Chunky Chick. What? Rogers confirmed jet now, right? Not 100% confirmed? Well, Lazard and all of his weapons went there. Like, Aaron Rodgers is going to be a New York Jet. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. He's a hippie diva, man. I wanted to do my absolute silence therapy. Or was it darkness therapy? Darkness and silence? It was like sensory deprivation. Isolation therapy. Wow. Something every parent of a toddler wants at some point in the near future. Isolation therapy. Just no sounds or sights, just for like 30 minutes, please. Also called a nap. Brandon, thank you so much for the love here. Says, I love your content. My coworkers at the hospital and I love reading along with your AITA. Nice. Brandon, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Tiffany with foosballs. Thank you. Oh, Schmidt said he says he's a Jet or he's retiring. Gotcha. Crazy Canadian, thank you for the lightning bolts. Appreciate that. Destiny with the roses, thank you. Oh, yeah, news on teams trading players, yeah. Yeah. Oh, Juju left, right? Where'd you say he went? Juju's in New England now.
No, Juju, why? Why you gotta do that to us, man?
Lego, you took a 2.5 hour nap today? That sounds fabulous. That sounds like a really good time. Naps always backfire for me. A lot of times I'll come in and do night shift because I have like two pretty consistent too, just different days of the week, which are like half days because I'll pick up kids from school. And that is my definition of success. I wanted to get to a point where I had freedom to take a half day and actually pick up kids from school and be able to do that gig and spend some time with Navy Thunder during the day. And I get to do that now. The cost of it is I have to work night shifts to get all the stuff done that I need to get done. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? I really need a power nap. Like I got to get 30 minutes in before I go in and do this. And almost every time it backfires. Almost every time. Because after that, I'm just more tired than I was before the power nap. Love only. Cannot sleep during the day. I wish I could though. Yep. Me too. Tony, no meltdown. No meltdown. Emily, thank you so much for the tiny diny. Appreciate that. Hey, Nikki, you didn't miss it this week. All right. Indigenous beauty. I was trying to figure out what Candy Thunder was responding back to here. Yeah. What is your opinion on Jackson Mahomes? I roll. And you know, every family has that crazy person in it that you're just like, they're not with us, but we're related, so they're with us. That is Jackson Mahomes for the Chiefs. My goodness. Lucky Leprechaun from High D1027. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Nancy, go Chiefs. Member of the Storm. Heck yes. We'll love that. Tiffany, thank you for the cat paws. Jessica, thank you for the hand hearts. Don't tell... Schmutz says, don't tell Tony that we traded Tyreek. He'll lose his shit. That may or may not have happened when that happened. D1027, thank you so much for the lightning bolts and the tiny diny. Appreciate that. All right, we're going to jump on to the next one here. This one is a follower submission. So again, OP, if you're in chat and you want to let people know that you're here, feel free. That is 100% your call. This is, am I the astronaut if my husband loses his best friend because of me? Let me get a drink of water here real quick. I, 21 female, got married to my husband, 25 male, 6 months ago. Everything has been going great, and though we are navigating exactly how to communicate overall, we have been doing very well. Year 1 of marriage is very hard for that reason. Learning to communicate and troubleshoot with each other. Conflict resolution, I think that's it. We're having a very odd and challenging issue at the moment, and that is that my husband's best friend and best man at our wedding, let's call him Aaron. Aaron and my husband have been best friends for over 6 years, and my husband values his opinion to the highest degree. When we started dating, he was very excited to introduce me to Aaron and told me, if Aaron didn't like you, it might have been a deal breaker. He's like a brother to me. Aaron and I get along good, and he would regularly make comments like, it's like you married both of us, referring to himself and my husband, who would tell my husband, Jamie is wonderful. You're the luckiest man on earth. And isn't our wife so good to us? Our wife? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, going back to it. What have I done? Red flags no work. Sometimes they have a mind of their own. There they are. Referring to himself and my husband, and would tell my husband, oh yeah, no, I already read that part. Isn't our wife so good to us? That's the line that caused the red flag. He was in a 3-year-long relationship at the time, and we would all hang out. About a week after our wedding, Aaron and his girlfriend broke up, and Aaron took it really hard. He moved back in with his parents so he could save money for a ring for her. My husband didn't want Aaron going through all of this alone, and so naturally we started inviting him over to more events to keep his mind off of it. He even came to a Friendsgiving with a group of our friends. Fast forward to about a week ago, my husband and I were hanging out with all the friends. we were at the Friendsgiving with, and we got on the topic of Aaron. I made a joke that I was going to start charging him rent because he was sleeping on my couch nearly every weekend, and I would make him breakfast after my husband went to work. My friends all exchanged awkward glances and said they had something to tell us about what happened at Friendsgiving.
Oh no. Oh no.
I had to turn the red flags off so they'll be ready the next time I need them. Apparently that night he was sitting next to a married couple that we are friends with and was heavily intoxicated. He kept making comments like,
Jamie is the most perfect woman. I've been in love with her since I met her.
Nearly 3 years ago.
She's the girl of my dreams.
And
I can't stop thinking about her. My girlfriend broke up with me because I'm in love with Jamie.
several other friends heard this as well, and they all agreed not to tell me or my husband as to not start drama. But after me telling them I had been spending time with Aaron alone, they wanted us to be aware. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and leave these on for a minute. Oh, no. Oh, no. My husband and I were shocked to hear this. My husband became visibly upset and I reminded everyone that Aaron was probably just drunk. Then they said, yeah, but what about what he said at the wedding? Burning his speech? During his speech, maybe. Yeah, but what about what he said at the wedding during his speech? Here's the beginning. Here is the beginning. I had to go back and look at the wedding tape for reference. Go back to face here.
Jamie, I owe you a huge apology. When OP's husband, told me that he met a girl and was in love with her, I was like, no way. No one is good enough for my best friend. But now, after I met you and got to know you, I think you can do a lot better.
Of course, at the wedding, we all laughed and thought it was a joke, but with the context of that Friendsgiving conversation, I don't know what to think anymore. Now my husband may lose his best friend over me, and I feel so guilty. What should I do? Reminder, this was a follower submission. But it's not OP's fault. It's not OP's fault here at all that hubby's best friend has feelings for her. You can't control that. You can't control that. D1027, that slur took you back to your bartending days. Good. Nailed it. Hashtag nailed it. It's not her fault. You can't control other people's feelings. You can't. As much as you may try, you cannot understand. You cannot control other people's feelings. The fact that he feels this way, well, one of the things that I say is you can't be an asshole for feeling something. You can be an asshole for acting out on it. So him saying what he said is sort of acting out on it, but he hasn't acted out on it to her. But knowing what he knows and choosing to be at their house when husband isn't there is a breach of trust, in my opinion. Knowing what he knows, how he feels about her, and allowing himself to be put in that position is a breach of trust. Sadie, thank you for the love on the shirt. Bro is breaking bro code by crushing on his friend's girl. My mouth is on fire said, yeah. And again, I mean, if that's the way he feels, he can't control how he feels. He could train himself out of it, but out of sheer respect, that should just be shut down, right? Out of sheer respect. But this is not at all OP's fault in any way, shape, or form. She can't control how he feels. I wonder if them getting married had anything to do with... Oh, wait, he does say in here, he says that his girlfriend broke up with her because he's in love with Jamie. So I wonder what he said to her, because I guarantee you he was drinking around his girlfriend and probably said something stupid, and it was probably right after the wedding. Or probably about how she looked at the wedding or something like that. You can't control him, though. This is really between OP's husband and his friend. Those two need to talk this out. But it's not OP's fault at all. OP, are you just like, I'm so attractive and he's just magnetically drawn to me and I feel like that makes it my fault. It's like, I'm just too awesome and good and that makes it my fault. No. Even if that's the case, it's not your fault. You can't be guilty for that. Casey of the Pips, thank you so much for the tiny Diney. I appreciate that. Jenna, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Oh my goodness. This has been BrozoCon 2. Because he let his feelings break up his relationship. Wow, Brozo scale. That would be good. He is definitely a Brozo. The breach of trust between him and his best friend, who he clearly needs badly right now, is a problem. He's got to make up for that somehow. Cindy, thank you for the roses. Tony, thank you for the roses. Indigenous Beauty, thank you for the roses there as well. What an ego trip for OP. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry. Everybody wants me. I can't help it. You just go through those phases in life, I guess, where you're just, moths to the flame and such. I don't know. Glam Nerd says she uses the ascon scale in daily life. Heck yes. Heck yes. Miss MacGyver, thank you for the lightning bolts. Appreciate that. Sarah Waffles says she didn't catch what he said in the wedding toast. He basically said that whenever his buddy, and this is the friend, not OP's husband, but the friend, said that he didn't believe it when his buddy said that he had met somebody and was in love with her, and he said, because no one could be good enough for my best friend, but now he had met her, he said that he thought she could do a lot better. And yeah, at the wedding, that's like a routine joke. You know what I mean? But now with the context of him actually being in love with her, this also may be a thing where he's not really in love with her. He's not in love with her. He's in love with what his buddy is experiencing because of her. He's in love with the bond that they have. Peggy, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm. Thank you so much. Lightning bolts for Peggy. Heck yeah. Caroline, you have a good evening. I'm glad to see you here, and I'm happy you got to hang out with us for a while. Every joke has a pinch of truth, Angela says. If that's accurate, I'm in big trouble because I make a lot of really stupid jokes here. Not on camera, but just here. And I think he may honestly just be misidentifying the feelings that he's having. He may be in love with the bond that they have. He may be in love with being in love and just realizing that he doesn't have that and projecting that onto her because that's who provides it for his buddy. So it could be 100% possible. Either way, he hasn't acted on it to her, but he needs to, OP's husband has to talk to him about it because he mentioned it to someone. And the fact that he's going through this breakup and he's emotionally vulnerable and he's pretty much staying with them and got drunk enough to mention it to someone in their home means that, yeah, they got to talk. They got to talk and set some firm boundaries here. Not that they should have to. Those boundaries exist and they know about them. It is bro code, but still, he needs a firm reminder here. Sandy K, hello. Road Scholar says, I wonder if he has ever sabotaged other relationships of his bud. That would be worth looking at. Esther, thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Storm. Lightning bolts for Esther. We'll get invitations for the Facebook VIP group out to all of you new subscribers after the stream today. Jax, you finally cut a live. Awesome. Hannah loves the lives. Thank you so much. Here's the funny part about the lives. I don't get to edit my screw ups. So you just get to see them happen. It's probably less exciting than watching a normal video because in the normal videos, there's a whole lot of editing that happens. A lot. We did start leaving some bloopers in at the end of some videos now. So if you're watching the normal TikTok or YouTube videos, make sure you watch to the very, very end because there are some gold nuggets in there. Happily Married, thank you so much for following. Appreciate that. Look at Esther with all the custom emoticons here. I don't think they're actually called emoticons. I forgot what they're called. So the custom stuffs. We'll be coming out with new ones of those here whenever we roll out the new brand on April 1st as well. It is a fun twist, Hannah. Thank you for loving it. Appreciate that. It is fun. You saw a blooper today. It surprised you, Angel. Yeah. They're little Easter eggs at the end, and it's not every video. It's probably like 1 in 5, but there are some really good ones in there. Heck yeah, Krista! I'm glad you're being entertained while working. The Thundercons, Melissa, I I like it very much. The doorbell is... I forget what it is. Let me check the activity panel here. I think it's subscribing. No? I don't know. We had it figured out at one point in time. Then I forget. Forget. Casey of the Pips says, I'm mother-in-law and submitted a story. Oh, snap. Happily married. You submit a story at, if you go to Linktree, which is in our bio, there's a link to submit a story there. Jax, thank you so much for subscribing for the first time. We got to get some lightning bolts up there for Jax. Heck yeah. We are at 65 or 66. And Chow subscribed also. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate that. We're getting closer to that 100 mark. Look at that. Would you just look at it? There we go again. Reddit-sedit.com is the current website where you can submit your stories. Pretty soon it will be a different URL, but we'll still be forwarding that domain over to it. So, Molly, thank you for the love on the shirts. I appreciate that. This came from Magical Mama's Handmade, and she has a Facebook group where you can get notified of drops of the cool stuff that she comes out with. And there's some really, really cool stuff. Candy Thunder has been talking quite a bit about her and shows me a lot of pictures and is like, we're getting this. Okay, we're getting this. Like, yes. Yes. Bluey backpack with lightning bolts for Navy Thunder. Yes. Yes. Tried to talk me into getting the fanny pack too. I'm like, who's going to wear the fanny pack? She's like, you. I'm like, dude, I might wreck a fanny pack if I was at Disney or something. Me. If you submitted one and forgot to add a title, that's okay. We'll create a title for it. No worries. No worries. Ashley, thank you so much for resubbing. Another member of the storm. Lightning bolts for Ashley up there. Oh, Nancy, right after asking when I went live. You saw the shark video? That's when Candy Thunder messages me and she's like, don't forget to do a story for the live today because there's always a better turnout whenever we do a story. And I did it much later than I should have today. But as soon as she said that, I was like, crap. I literally have no ideas to do like something fun and different for it. So I grabbed the shark head, which is something we've used as a prop in a commercial campaign that we've run, and jumped in the sound booth and asked Father Curtis here to film me for a minute. And I'm like, I got nothing else. This is what we're doing. We're just rocking and rolling. We are rocking and rolling. Chocoholic, thanks you so much for the love. Appreciate it there. Marissa says, I love you, Dusty, even though you're a Chiefs fan. Yeah, sorry. Tanya, thank you so much for subscribing. We got another new subscriber there. Lightning bolts for Tanya there, too. Wow. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Jennifer loves the shirt and me. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. User 5194112368818 loves the Moira voice and refreshing honesty. Thank you so much for that, too. Moira hasn't come out during the stream today, either. I'm sure she will. Martha, thank you so much for the lightning bolt. Appreciate that. Oh, okay. Schmidt says he'll do the podcast if he can wear the bear head. Done. We've got it, man. We've got it. Miss MacGyver, thank you so much for the superpower. Appreciate that. Kate for the lightning bolt and Tegan for the lightning bolt. Appreciate that. Yeah, Schmutz, we're gonna hold you to that. I will get the bear head ready. There's a really funny story behind the bear costume, and whenever Schmutz wears that, we'll be sure to tell it. Oy vey. Jocelyn, yeah, we're rocking the bluey shirt today. Moira does like the mother-in-law stories. CG, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the storm. Lightning bolts for CG there as well. We're at 70 of 100. We are making some damn good progress today. Tell you what, Nikki also subscribing for the first time today. Another new member of the storm. Lightning bolts for Nikki as well. Thank you guys. Doomed anyway. Thank you for the tiny Diney. Your name made me chuckle there. Justin Mom, thank you so much for the finger hearts. Appreciate that. Chow, thank you for the rose. New member of the storm. Good to see you here. T for the rose. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Mr. Bogo, thank you so much for sharing the live. Sharing is a big deal for us, whether it's sharing the live or sharing the videos that we do. Cocoa Puffs, thanks for sharing the live as well. We appreciate that so much. CG, again, thank you so much for becoming a new member of the storm. We appreciate that very, very much. Maggie, thank you for the lightning bolts there. Loves it. You guys are very reactive today. I appreciate that. Very interactive. Reactive? I don't know. Very engaged today. That's the word I'm looking for. Words are hard. Words are hard. Okay. Yeah, I think where we're at on that last story is, OP, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that the whole world is attracted to you. Like, sometimes it just happens. You're in your prime. What do they call it? A new girl? They call it a new girl. There's this phase whenever. Do you remember Tony Spark? Candy Thunder, you might remember. We've been watching a lot of New Girl lately. That's our new show in between. Allison, thank you so much for subbing on YouTube. Appreciate that. Thank you. Teresa, thank you for the roses. Appreciate that. Miss MacGyver for more lightning bolts. Thank you there. Double deuces up there with the hand hearts. Thank you so much. Allison shared the live. Awesome. Thank you so much. Emily with the lightning bolts. Thank you. Yeah, we're big New Girl fans here. Tiffany, another new member of the Storm. Thank you so much. We'll get those invites for that Facebook group, the VIP group, to you after the live today. Thank you so much for joining. Lightning bolts for her as well. You guys are great. New Girl has been fantastic. Melissa, another new Storm subscriber. You guys are incredible. Holy crap. Lightning bolts for Melissa here too. We got another new member of the Storm here. You guys are going to enjoy being a part of that VIP group. And as we come up with new kinds of content, we're going to be bouncing it off of you guys first in that VIP group. And also you get the ability to direct message here. Tony, are you telling me to move it along? Tony Spark, saying move it along. Okay. All right. We're jumping into the next story here. This is another follower submission, and this one is, am I the astronaut for disagreeing with my mother-in-law over my wedding plans? We may have a Moira appearance in this one. We'll have to see what happens. Getting a drink of water first. Thanks for taking care of me, Tony Spark. Appreciate it, man. I have a mother-in-law story. This is a follower submission, so again, OP, if you're there in chat and want to raise your hand and let people know this is your story, fair game. When my then fiance at the time were planning our wedding, we were just young and just trying to get our lives started. We sat both sets of our parents down, and they all wanted to help pay for a big wedding. We went in thirds on everything so that it wouldn't be a huge dent out of pocket. Being that this was my soon-to-be mother-in-law's first child getting married and the fact that she has only boys, I tried to include her into the planning process. She went in with me and my mom to look at wedding dresses. She invited all of our friends, which took up about half the guest list, not even including his immediate family or our friends. She decided to add an extra hour to the reception and a full bar. I kept telling her that these items weren't budgeted and we have too many people. She kept saying, we'll pay for it. We'll pay for it. We'll pay for it. When the wedding started to get closer and we started to book everything, we were over budget. She asked why, and I told her that we added all these people and all these extras and reminded her that she said she would pay for it. Her response was, where do we cut corners instead? She took a look at the budget and everything I noted as expenses. She pointed out that I was paying a certain amount for my hair and makeup. She said, Here, this is a good Moy response. She said, well, look here, we can cut this out. I looked at her and told her it's my wedding day and my hair and makeup are important. Keep in mind, I hired a friend of a friend who was just starting out doing weddings, so it was cheap in comparison if I went somewhere else. Her response was that I go to the mall on the day of the wedding and pretend like I'm buying makeup from one of those counters and have them do my makeup for free. I about lost it. How is it an extra hour of the reception or a full bar or all of your friends at our wedding more important than my hair and makeup? It was this moment that I saw my future for what it would be, and I was right. In the end, we cut the guest list down and I got my hair and makeup done as intended. Am I the asshole? Oh, what? This is too funny. It's too freaking great. Ashling, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm. Roberta, Misty, also, thank you so much for signing up and becoming a member of the Storm. Melissa and Tiffany, I'm not sure if we got you earlier. If we didn't, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm as well. Sue Souza, thank you for the lightning bolts. Angel, thank you so much for the lightning bolts as well. Beth Ann for the lightning bolts. Freaking crazy with the rose, and Sue Souza with the rose as well. Margie with the lightning bolts, and Roberta with the star. Appreciate that. Allison with the 20 stars, and Beth Ann with the rose, and Chow with the shamrock. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Okay, so what would you do? What would you do if you're planning your wedding and mother-in-law just added on all kinds of expenses and then was like, oh, we can just cut out your hair and makeup. You could just go sit on the street and ask people who are passing by to just take a swipe at your face and it will be fine. You know, if we go to the American Girl doll store, you can pretend to be a doll, and they have a little salon there. Oh, wait, that costs money too. Man, what is it with mother-in-laws and weddings where they just forget what it was like to be a bride? Or maybe it was just way different back then. I don't know. I would think that mother-in-laws would know better. But apparently I am wrong. Allison, thank you so much for the lightning bolts. Holly for the roses. Vilma for the lightning bolts. Nicole for the tiny diny. Vilma with the lightning bolts again. Margie with the lightning bolts. Thank you so much. Angel with 50 lightning bolts. Holy cow. Thank you. Nicole with the high march, which is the shamrock, right? Yeah. Thank you so much for those. Appreciate that. Melissa with the fire. Bad Amson. B. Adamson. Thank you so much for the cat paws. Appreciate that. Tina, thank you so much for the crown. Melissa for the fire. Appreciate that. Devious Mist for the roses, and Krista for the lightning bolts. Holy crap. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Trying to catch up here. Trying to. Crazy Canadian for the white eye worsty. Thank you so much. Chunky Chick for the lightning bolts. Thank you, Nicole, for the shamrock too. Awesome. Okay, I think I'm caught up there. She ought to know better. That's it. She ought to know better. And OP here asking if she's the asshole. Double Deuces subscribing and becoming a member of the storm. Thank you so much. Lightning bolts for Double Deuces there. Also a cool username. Double Deuce. OP, this is a follower submission, so OP, if you're here. I think this is a wonderful story, and I thank you for sending it to us. I think there's no way in hell that you believe with a shred of your being that you are in any way, shape, or form an asshole for disagreeing with her. I don't think there's any way that you felt like that whenever you were making these decisions, and it sounds like as offended as you got was the proper response. And the fact that you didn't end up caving is the most important thing here. You stuck to your guns and got the guest list cut down and got your hair and makeup done as intended. Now, hopefully that cutting down of the guest list happened before those save the dates went out, because if you send people save the dates and then don't send them an invitation, I think that's some bad form that you can get yourself into trouble with. But you stuck to your guns and didn't let a couple third graders do your hair and makeup, which is probably a good thing on the biggest day of your life, you know. Christine, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm. We've got some lightning bolts there for Christine as well. Thank you. 78-100. Wow, big leap today, guys. Twinkle says, thank you so much for the match star. Appreciate that. And Kiara for the owl. Thank you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the next one. And this one's going to get messy. Okay, just prepare yourself for this one. Just prepare yourself for anything. Expect nothing and prepare yourself for anything. This one is from Reddit. This is from the Am I the Asshole subreddit. And this is, am I the astronaut for making my son clean up after he pooped in the urinal at Taco Bell? Let me just give you about 30 seconds to just let that title soak in. And also to try to imagine the physical mechanics in making this happen. Okay. You ready? We're going to do this. And I won't make the joke, Tony. I won't make the joke. I might make the joke. My teenage son and I stopped at Taco Bell for lunch the other day, and while I was waiting for my food, my son went to use the restroom. A few minutes later, he came out looking embarrassed. Another man followed, and that man told me he witnessed my son pooping in the urinal. I was shocked and disgusted, but I didn't want to make a scene in the restaurant. Instead, I took him back into the bathroom and made him clean up his mess. He used some paper towels to put it in the toilet and flush it. I told him that he couldn't just leave it there for someone else to deal with, and that it was his responsibility to clean up after yourself. Gives a new meaning to clean up your shit, huh? Kids, get in here, clean up your shit! It's totally different. And that wasn't the joke, by the way. My son was understandably upset and embarrassed, but I felt like it was an important lesson for him to learn. He needed to understand that his actions have consequences and that he couldn't just expect other people to clean up after him. However, when I told my wife what had happened, she was furious with me. She said that it was humiliating and degrading to make our son clean up after himself in a public restroom. She accused me of being too harsh and said that I should have just alerted the staff and had them clean it up. I feel like I did the right thing by holding my son accountable for his actions and making him take responsibility for them. But now I'm starting to wonder if maybe I went too far. Am I the asshole for making my son clean up his mess in the Taco Bell restroom? Thoughts here? Oh! Why though? Okay, yes, agreed. Kelly, agreed. Why? Dad never talks about why he did it or even asked him that we know of. He doesn't ask why you did this. And if you've seen Bridesmaids, you understand that, I mean, it was Indian food in that, but Taco Bell might as well be Indian food. If you eat Taco Bell, shit can be like volcanic volatile. And if he went to the bathroom and Taco Bell was ringing the bell, because it did well, and he had to go, and there was someone in the stall, and the only choice he had was the urinal or the sink, at least the urinal flushes. I mean, I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm just saying that Taco Bell could be a lot of the reason in this. And but he never talks to him about why it happened. I mean, that would be my first question. Like, why on earth would you do this? He was obviously embarrassed when he came out, so I don't think he did it just to do a prank, because why would you, like, how would you, number one, the mechanics of that. I think there was a movie where Christina Applegate actually like backed up and peed into a urinal, and it would probably be that similar kind of mechanics here, but it's just hard to understand. It's hard to understand. It was firm enough to pick up with paper towels. Yeah, and Candy Thunder made that same point. It's like, it clearly wasn't Taco Bell. Taco Bell caused. Yeah, Nisi, Dad did the right thing here, making him be accountable for his actions. The son he's a teenager. He doesn't give us an exact age, but says that he's a teenager. He's not a little kid. Making him clean up his own mess is great. I think asking the question, why would you do this, was an important missed step here. They were still waiting for their food. Oh, wow. I guess it wasn't Taco Bell's fault then. I don't know. I feel like I just drive by a Taco Bell and I immediately feel sick. Unless it's like 2 a.m. He was a teenager. But if he did this just to be a jackass teenager, then yeah. I mean, no matter what, you got to clean it up somehow. Even if it was an urgent need and someone was in the stall, yeah, you still have to be accountable for that and clean it up. I just feel like there has to be a good explanation for why he did it. No matter what, he's got to clean it up. There's just got to be a good reason. It can't be just because. And even if you were doing it at a prank, you would probably do it as a prank in a restaurant or in a stall or a restroom where the door locked. Not in some public restroom where some dude could walk in, which is what happened. Some dude saw him hiked up on the freaking urinal. Wow. How about what happened rather than why? And still clean it up? Yeah, he's got to clean it up no matter what. But so many details about, like, yes, you're right. What happened? Like, what happened, but also why? And I was just... leaving it for someone else would be a terrible, terrible thing to do. He was embarrassed because he got caught. I think that could be true. I think that could absolutely be true. And it sounds like this mic is freaking out a little bit now. I think we're confirming some issues with this mic. It's going back. It's going in for service. It's happening. Maybe they did have a convo about it and he just didn't write about it. Yeah. That's entirely possible. If he did it at home, he'd have to clean it up. Yes, agreed. Agreed. I mean, most homes don't have urinals in them, and I think that's the big part of this, but it's... Shelby, thank you so much for the shirt, love. This one came from Magical Mama's Handmade, if you want to go look for it. He could have only been embarrassed because he got caught. But, I mean, as a dad, I would make my kid clean it up too. But I would have so many questions. So many questions. Oh, okay. Awesome sauce. This is normally a prank teens pull, so it was intended for a worker to have to clean it. It said they were traveling, right? No. Oh, I thought they said they were traveling. No. Teenage son and I stopped at Taco Bell for lunch the other day. So he might have known someone who worked there. Depending on how old he was, he could have had some kid he doesn't like working there. I mean, kids did stupid stuff when I was a teen too. This is it's pretty nasty. And if someone did this to me when I was working, I probably would have, put one of those clear plastic Taco Bell meat handling gloves on. That came out wrong, but you know what I mean. Grabbed it and chased them out into the parking lot with it, and chucked it. Probably would have gotten fired, but probably what I would have done. Could he have planned to clean it up but then got caught and embarrassed? Possibly. But I feel like he probably would have said to the guy who busted him, like, oh, no, somebody's in the stall. I couldn't wait. I'm cleaning it up. But he's a teenager. Most teenagers don't have that much forethought to them. They don't think ahead like that. Hunter Girl, thank you so much for the lightning bolts. Appreciate that. Laura for the nachos and the taco. Casey of the Pips, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Yeah, that was the nasty one. That one was the I got through it without making the joke too, Tony. If you think real hard about it, you can figure it out. But I can't say it out loud or Tony won't be my podcast guest. And we really want him to because you guys are going to love him. Megan, thank you so much for the roses. Vilma for the rose. Appreciate that. Oh my goodness. Dad's not the asshole here. We're hoping that he had a deeper conversation to understand what and why this happened, but not the asshole. Now every time I see a urinal, I'm gonna stand there and look at it for a second and be like, even if I wanted to, how would I? I don't know. Would you have to? I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand the mechanics of it. But. The bridesmaid. I imagine it being like a bridesmaid scene, though. Don't look at me. Look away. It's coming out of me like lava. All right. Our next story here is called Am I the Astronaut for What I Named My Son? And this is from the Am I the Asshole subreddit. I-31 female had a little boy recently, my third. We were over the moon and excited to tell our families. I live far away from my family, so mainly communicate over a family group chat. I don't get to see them very often as it's expensive to fly, and they all have kids too, so that makes traveling a bit tricky. So when I messaged my family introducing my son with his name, Oliver, the general response was positive. However, my brother and his wife, both nearly 40, sent me a nasty text and wouldn't speak to me. I didn't understand why, as it was a short message and didn't explain anything, just that they were angry about his name. Since they wouldn't speak to me, I rang my sister. She explained that they had taken offense and that they thought the name was too similar to their daughter's name, Olivia. She explained that they were very angry with us and not willing to speak to us at the moment. I was completely shocked, and it's all been very upsetting. I've spoken to my parents and my other sister, who are also very confused by their reaction. My sister-in-law has said to them that they might be willing to allow us to use Oliver as a middle name, but if we use it as a first name, that will essentially lead to an end of relationship between us and them. What? For reals? For really reals? Come on now. I don't feel I have to justify or ask permission for naming my son and feel they are being controlling with double standards. They've never asked anyone's permission for naming their children, nor have any of my other siblings. We have different last names, and there's nearly 5 years between their Olivia and my Oliver. Not to mention that we live in different countries. It's been weeks now, and they still haven't spoken to me or reached out. I don't feel like I've done anything wrong, but am I the asshole for choosing a similar name? Thoughts here? Pathetic? Yeah. Oy vey, what? What? I am so offended that your baby came out with hair. Our baby has hair. What is wrong with people? This seems like people just seeking to be offended here. Not speaking is sometimes nice. Yeah. Nancy, I was actually thinking that. I'm like, no contact with these people kind of sounds like it might not be a bad thing. They're doing you a favor, and we're not going to talk to you anymore. I'd be like, how dare you for threatening to not talk to me? I threatened to not talk to someone the other day. Why are you trying to copy me? Turn around. It's fair play. I don't know. I know people are like this with their kids a lot. But I just don't get it. And surely both of them weren't offended. I think this was probably one of them being very offended and having to sell the other one, or the other one just having to get on board with it or suffer the wrath of not supporting the battle here. Don't threaten me with a good time. Cocoa Puffs, yep. Sometimes the trash takes itself out, Angel says. Member of the storm. Lass in the Highlands sends the microphone there. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. My husband's cousin used the name we used for our daughter. They should go ahead and name him Oliver. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's already done. Like they already named him, and then they sent out the message just to introduce everybody. So I mean, it's not like it was still we're thinking of using the name Oliver. It's like meet Oliver, and then they're like, oh no, we are mad at you. And then not even explaining why. Having to find out why from talking to other people. Are these the family members that can't stand having good things happen for other people? It's like they immediately had to pull the spotlight back to themselves by creating some kind of bullshit drama. Is that the case? I'm not sure. Reaper, thank you so much for the roses. Appreciate there. Peggy, member of the storm, says when the grandparents named the dog Maggie and my daughter was named Megan, I didn't get offended. Yeah, as you shouldn't. ID 1027 says, my daughter and niece have the same middle name, no issues. These people are countries apart. Like, rarely ever see each other. Jessica, these aren't real problems, just people making drama. I agree with that. It's gotta be people just creating a stink to create a stink. Either because that's them coping with someone else having a baby, and getting the spotlight, or whatever the hell, but... I feel like Candy Thunder's response and my response would be like, bye, I guess. I'm not going to change my kid's name because you're offended. Too late. Cheryl, thank you so much for the panda. Appreciate that. Mom Vibes, thank you so much for following. Appreciate that. Everybody who hasn't followed yet, please do go do that. Now, also, make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube channel. We also have an Instagram account where I've been slacking on it a little bit lately, but we do post some behind-the-scenes stuff there, and we've got a really good project, a really fun project in the works to use there that introduces you to some of the team members that we've got here as well. We just have to film like one more scene for it. So that's going to be fun. And then I am on Facebook. I do have Dusty Thunder account on Facebook, mostly so that we can administer the VIP group there. But I do use that Dusty Thunder normal account there as well. Myra, thank you so much for the rose. Appreciate that. Zool123, thank you so much for the rose there as well. Yeah, I got a haircut. Mama Ice, I did. All that long hair is gone. It was a gigantic pile of hair. I'm in summer mode now. The only part of it that I don't, well, right after I got it done, it was like, I didn't realize how much warmth longer hair provides, and then the back of my head was exposed, and I was like, oh, I was really cold now. And now I'm getting more used to it. But I do miss that insulation. I think I did it too soon. I did it when it was still cold. I should have waited like a month. Should have waited, but I didn't. Lauren, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Chuck84 says, my kids have super unique names, so have no worries of someone copying it, but who cares? It's a name. Yeah. Kiara, thank you for the hand heart. Appreciate that. That is actually our last story tonight, so we'll hang out for a few more minutes here, but we're going to end the stream just a little bit early tonight. I read fast. I read quickly. Board Vanessa says, hey, love your voice. It eases my anxiety. I don't know why, but thanks. Thank you. Appreciate that. We hear a lot of that, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what it is either, but we may end up exploring that and creating some content that's specifically made for you to just turn it on and soothe for a bit. We haven't done it yet, but we've heard so much of that I think we'll dive into it at some point here. Someone else had a great question here. Lacey, love your AITA. Do you ever hear from the offended parties? The offended parties? Maybe. And I say maybe because, we had a live end abruptly a couple of weeks ago because we got reported for something, and that may have been hearing from the offended parties, or it may have been something completely unrelated, but typically no. We have heard Jill, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm. Lightning bolts for Jill. We have heard from several OPs from Reddit posts. So follower submissions, of course, we're going to hear from them. But we have heard some Reddit OPs reach out to us and give us direct updates on how things have changed for them, and even jumped onto live chats and that kind of thing. So it's been very cool. Normally though, the pissed off parties don't typically reach out. I don't think they want to claim their assholery. It's Metal Mom, thank you so much for the 31 roses. Thank you so much. I remember being 31. That was a long time ago. Looney Melody, thank you so much for the 15 lightning bolts there. Appreciate that. Peggy says, I realize that my life isn't too jacked up listening to these stories. Yeah. KB says, you should read Spicy Mom books. I'll have to have Candy Thunder explain to me what that means. But yeah, I think we're going to start reading a bunch of different stuff this year. I think it's part of the submit post button isn't working for you on Linktree, Elizabeth. Let me check that out real quick. Let me see. Tucky says, hey, I submitted a story and didn't see the TikTok for it through your site from January. Okay. So we get like 500 stories a month. And it's mathematically impossible for us to cover them all with stories, but we do hang on to them all so that if we have an opening and need to go back and pull from ones that were sent further back, that we can. But there are so many that it is tough. Submit a story. Submit a story worked for me. It sent, so what you need to do if that button isn't working for you is just go to reddit-sedit.com. Or did you mean on the website? Like actually submitting a story, that button didn't work. Tucky, thank you for the understanding there. It's a lot. There's a lot there. Not that we won't get to it, but it's definitely tough to keep up. Savage Momo. It's a spicy book reading for sure. Do I have that spicy narrator voice in my future? It's possible. It is possible. Reaper, thank you so much. Appreciate that. TikTok won't let you subscribe either, Carol. What is going on? Oh, Nugs Dog said, didn't get a notification for this. Sorry about that. Make sure that you're subscribed there. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why it would be acting up. Thanks, Schmutz. Appreciate that. Angel says, delete your cookies. That may be an issue. Savage Momo subscribing there. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the Storm. We'll have several new members to invite to the VIP group tonight. CG, thank you for the big love. Appreciate that. Uncle Johnny, thank you also for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm. Schmutz said even he would listen to me read romance novels. Thank you, I think. Maybe I'll record a little snippet for you since it's your birthday, Josh. Magical Mom is shocked that I'm wearing her shirt on the live. Kathy Joe, yeah, we had a good conversation on Facebook today, and Candy Thunder let me know that she had posted that screenshot of me wearing this in a story and how excited she was. So we thought we'd just go a step further and throw it on and make sure we gave her some love in the live today. And again, that was Magical Mama's Handmade, who has a Facebook group that you definitely need to go join if you're into bluey stuff, because there's some really cool stuff there. Unicorn Love says, what time did you go live tonight? You didn't get a notification, just came on at a normal time. We go on at 4 p.m. Central Time on Wednesdays. So far, it's been pretty steady, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time every Wednesday. So if I almost said create a calendar event, because that's what I would do, but you should get a notification for it if you have your notifications enabled there. Darnell, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm here as well. Friggin' lightning bolts for Darnell. We're at 84 of 100 now. We have made a huge amount of progress today. You guys are incredible. Margie subscribed as well. Thank you so much. Diana, thank you so much for the rose. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping it up here. Make sure that you are subscribed, obviously, here on TikTok, but also subscribed on YouTube and have notifications enabled. Insta, we have a profile for behind the scenes kind of stuff, which I do post to every once in a while. I am on Facebook, mostly for the VIP group, but it is there as well. And also we have the audio compilations go out every Wednesday morning so that you have a compilation to listen to on those audio channels like Spotify and iTunes podcast or Apple Podcasts and that kind of thing too. So lots of different kinds of content, and we'll be working on more and more as we go. But I will see you next week on a live. And also, I did my YouTube live on this past Sunday night, and I've kept up with doing those. It's either I do it when I'm doing my normal recording batch, so it will either be Sunday night or Monday night, or if the schedule's really crazy, then maybe a Tuesday night. But I will do a surprise live there, and VIP group members, I try to throw out a notification to let you guys know when I'm getting ready to go live or a couple of hours before. But everyone else, just make sure that you have those notifications enabled for YouTube so that you find out when I'm going live there too. Nugs Dog, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a member of the Storm. You guys freaking rock. We're at 85 of 100. Wow. You guys are flipping awesome. All right. I will catch you on the flip side. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm Dusty Thunder. This is the Reddit Set It channel for now until April 1st. Shamed Angel, thank you so much for subscribing as well. Dusty Thunder, and I will be live next Wednesday here at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also sometime Sunday, Monday, Tuesday evenings with a surprise live on YouTube. And we'll see you almost every day with normal posts as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and you guys have a good night, okay? Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
That was loud a bit. I'm sorry.
I have terrible handwriting. Sorry.
Wasn't awkward at all. Not at all. All right, thanks again, guys. I'll see you next time.